He wants to talk about the videos recorded, I think.
Hello, Brent.
The video. What did you want to talk about?
Brent?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all right. Well, I wanted to just have a quick reaction on the videos you made that were referring to the first part of the debate.
Well, we can talk about the videos in as much as what I said in response to your claims about ALSJ. But
All right.
this is a debate. This is a debate about the integrity of ALSJ editors. That is the topic of the debate.
All right. So then I will read it out to you, so then you have a little bit an understanding of what we're doing, because that's included in it. Because we see that that's important for you. As well, the chief editor had asked you, to leave him out of the debate. But if you want to keep him into the debate, that's okay with us.
No, he said he didn't want me to. He didn't want to get involved himself in the debate. He didn't try to tell me to stop talking about it.
Fair enough, then. Fair enough. Okay, then first I will give you a quick reaction, and it will explain a lot. Basically, I go quickly through the videos. The videos were, some parts came back in the other one, so I made that into one story. It starts basically with video number 1, where you talk about AS11405849, or the non-crosshair image, as we call it. There was a discovery of AWE130, and the Apollo Lunar Service journals did credit us for this. We tried to correct the historical archives, and this was an important discovery. According to Grant, does that mean that we support the conspiracy theory side, or even the hoax side, as he prefers to call it? That's a little bit strange, because the Apollo Lunar Survey Journal corrected our finding, and we debated that with them in private, and that there were no crosshairs in it, and that the magazines were switched was also an option we brought forward from the beginning with them in private emails.
Okay, I'm displaying that picture on my live stream right now.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I will do that too, actually. That but I will. Let me finish my statement first, please. So we have no problem that the image doesn't show crosshairs. Well, basically the problem is with that with that video. With that image is the procedure the Apollo Lunar Service journals did. And this is one of the reasons we asked Eric Jones and other editors maybe who were involved in this to step down. What basically happened was NASA documentation stated very clearly that the image was taken with the crosshair camera. You are aware of that. Then the procedure should be from a historian, and every historian will say that. You go to NASA with this, you ask NASA to investigate it, you wait till NASA comes with a conclusion. When NASA tells like, okay, indeed, we found out that this documentation is wrong, then you can correct it. What basically happened, and this was in direct contact with Eric Jones, what I had, and this was one of the things that baffled us. Because we had like, why doesn't he like first go to NASA and ask NASA an official statement and correct then the archives? It seems now more that he is like ruling over NASA. He's overruling NASA. He's telling NASA, your documents are wrong, don't worry about it, because there's no crosshair. So this is a big mistake for a historian.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as Eric Jones is concerned, I don't know what kind of communications you've had with him, but I'm going to have to take off my earphones right now because I'm getting that echo. In our other discussions, I have pointed out that the ALSJ gave a very lengthy and very detailed description of what the issue was with this picture. I believe Gone to Plaid helped you with this. Is that correct? He's the one that figured out that it was switched from one camera to another. And ALSJ made a very detailed description of why that picture has no crosshairs, which camera it was taken with, and credits you for bringing it to their attention. Now, what is it that you object to?
I object to the matter how they did it. When Eric Jones was contacted, he reacted within 24 hours back that the option that the crosshairs maybe could be altered out or by processing disappeared was not an option. He was not even willing to look into that. And when you get confronted with something where official NASA documentation tells you that the image should show crosshairs, as a historian, you should step back and say, like, this is interesting. Wait a moment. First we go to NASA. NASA makes an official statement, what their findings are, and then you correct your historical archive. What is done now is that the Apollo Lunar Survey journals are like overruling NASA, and that is not correct. They're overruling the official documents of NASA. That is a no-no. Every historian will tell you that's a no-no.
Okay, you've already made that point. My point is that they responded to you politely in great detail. They corrected what they thought was the magazine that this picture was taken on.
Why do you think that they
and they have updated the website and credited you for bringing it to their attention, and you're still complaining about it as if there was some other explanation that he should have considered. There was no need for him to consider any other explanation because they gave you the correct explanation.
Yeah, but they are not NASA. NASA should first correct the archives, and then as a historical archive, you can correct your archive. You're overruling official documents. It's a no-no. It's an absolutely no-no.
That's between him and NASA. Who cares? Who cares about that? He corrected the identification of the camera, and so it's done. What else is there for you to be concerned about?
That the official NASA documentation is not stating that, and that for an historian, that is absolutely something you should never ever have done. So that's a big mistake. Second thing I want
to... Well, that's NASA's beef with him, not yours.
No, NASA.
Hey gentlemen, I need to interrupt for just a second. First, Adrian, I just need to let you know, I'm not sure how everyone else feels, but I am having a bit of trouble understanding you. It's like you're not sending out quite enough data.
What you mean, not enough data?
It sounds, I don't know, maybe it sounds like you're talking through a pillow.
All right, can you hear me better this way?
It's still about the same. I'm not sure. I mean, I can hear Brant like he's sitting next to me, and he's not, in case anyone's wondering. But Adrian,
can you hear me better this way?
I think that's a little bit better.
All right, let me give me 1 second, and I'm gonna add it up. What, this way is better?
It does sound a bit better.
Oh no, the viewers, Joe, viewers are saying that they're getting that echo too.
It could be a side effect of the live stream, because I'm not getting it.
Well, because I think like we all rerouting it like all kinds of ways, so probably that could be a problem.
Well, I'd like to get back to the debate because I've only allotted 1 hour for this.
All right.
I
guess I wanted to ask a quick question, and I'll let Kellen get back to it. You're saying that NASA should have some kind of say. The question is, Adrian, did you send a message to NASA asking what they really think? I mean, you're all concerned about NASA, but have you asked them?
Ooh, NASA?
Yeah, I mean,
no. When you find a mistake in an historical archive, yeah, that in itself is not a problem. But it's not that historical archive is going to change it and then going to tell NASA, oh, your documentation is wrong anyway. That's not how it's done. So that's the point I want to make. And
well, whose documentation was it in the first place, Adrian?
Sorry?
Whose documentation was it in the first place?
The documentation is of NASA.
Do you know that?
Yes, of course, because it's a NASA document that stays there.
What NASA document? The only one that I believe you've had anything to do with was what you found on ALSJ, and that is Eric Jones's work. He can correct his own work.
Oh, but okay, but then he should not pretend to be a historian and have accurate historical archives. Then everybody can make an archive. This is a bull story.
Well, okay, I think both of us have made the points we need to make on that. Is there something else you wanted to present?
Exactly. So the same picture also is cropped in the Apollo Lunar Surface journals. We also informed Eric Jones of this image. The bottom part here is cropped. We also informed that I think when you review, an image, that you also straight away re-upload the correct image, but also that is not done. So this is basically about like AS or the 5849 image, what we wanted to say about it. So this is the first thing. This is as an historian, this is incorrect and it's just wrong. But if that was the only mistake, we would have not asked Eric Jones to step down. So maybe we can go on to the second one, because you only have an hour. That's why we asked like for 2 hours basically, because there's a lot to handle. That is the AS11375505. That is, we also had that in the first debate, so I go quickly over that for the people who are new to it. We discovered here, that's the ring.
Do you have anything new to offer on that? Because we've already discussed that one to death.
Yes, this here, we investigated it, and you wanted an answer, and we have came up with a possibility, what is now investigated, that this is actually a little crater. You can see that. So, but that is still under investigation, but it's probably not the ring. The ring is in the shadow in the front. This has to do with a time lapse. I don't have any information more for you about that, but that is just for this part. Then,
well, it's not a crater, and so, you know, I mean,
how do you know that? How do you know it's not a crater? Did you investigate it?
Yes, I did. In fact, I found your own pictures on it, which compare the picture of the tool itself to the picture in this image, and they are essentially identical. It is the ring.
Yep.
You claimed that yourself. Now you want to take it back and make some other argument. I have no idea why.
There's not another argument. We said that to the Apollo Lunar Surface Journal from the beginning. We said, like, we're not sure about this image. You have to have a look at it. They didn't, and they just they credit us for it. And the other ones, there was 4 or 5 we found the ring also in. They are correct. This one, if you look at other pictures, you see some craters in front of the ring, but you have to look at other pictures. And we think that it's possible that that is one of those craters, and that the shadow, as you know, they move on the moon. We just like redraw a little bit, and that the ring is basically in the shadow part. But that's open for discussion still, so don't worry about that. Then the LPD story. Maybe
okay.
There, because we're already halfway, I see. What do you think about the LPD story?
If I am appropriately entertained, I might consider going longer.
What was that, Brent?
All right, the LPD story, Brent. You stated in the first part of the debate that you saw some brown stuff in it, like what should be the LPD out of focus. We didn't find that. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Well, you didn't. I don't know what you're talking about as far as finding something wrong.
No, we asked you a question. You said there were some brown lines you saw in that image, and that.
Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about, and I can explain it. When I looked at your composite of, what was it, 3 photos, including this one with the RCS thruster in it, where you joined those photos, one of them was darker along that edge than the others. When I saw that dark, very faintly diffuse dark region going up through the picture there, that was from your web page. I thought that might be an out of focus image of the LPD. Turns out it wasn't. Since then, I know that that was just because of the difference between the 2 photos that you joined together.
Shall I tell you something? If you go to my website and you look at that image, the first thing I would do, yeah, and AWE130 would do, is go to the NASA website and to look at the image.
That's
Sorry, if you investigate something, you go to the source. There's the problem. You never go to the source. You just react randomly on things.
No, I react to your picture. Okay. Now I went to the source. I have the picture. It does not show any out of focus image of the LPD, and that was at least a couple months ago, and I have not made any claim to that effect since.
No, of course no, you didn't. Okay, so that's clear, then. Thank you very much for that. Well, the LPD, when we contacted Eric Jones about the LPD, he was not impressed at all.
I wasn't either.
Sorry?
I wasn't either. Neither was anybody else.
No, people who like photography, it's a very interesting discovery. For sure, when
it had nothing to do with the integrity of ALSJ. The LPD can't be seen because the camera is right up against it, and it's out of focus so much that you can't see it. And Brian Robson did his pictures, which show exactly that same effect.
Well, but the pictures he shows, yeah, that's indeed like very nice done, and we don't disregard it. He also said on the Daily Mail thread, but there is one thing: his background is completely out of focus. So that's interesting, because he also told in the Daily Mail thread that the focus point was very important to get the reflection. Further, there's a lot of more things what you can ask us. I asked him this question, but he hasn't answered them yet, but maybe he will. Probably the sunlight came direct through the window, through the LPD, shining on the spoon or whatever it is, and reflecting back. That's not what happened on the moon, because they were standing inside the limb, so the light could not come through the window. It's much more complicated as you and other people do want to believe, or maybe do understand. So the reflections is a very interesting discovery for people who are interested in that. That doesn't mean that the Apollo moon landings are fake. That's not what he's saying. But if the Apollo lunar survey journals again are gonna ridicule, bully, and insult this, yeah, like people like you, then the credit of the Apollo lunar survey journals will go down. I can guarantee you that.
What this means, okay, what you said what this means. What this means is that you saw this secondary reflection in this image, rather, the shadow in, I don't know what to call it, a ghost image or whatever, in the reflections off of the external parts of the limb. And you took what was a debunked claim about the crosshairs and pushed it on with this, thinking you were going to find something else that would discredit ALSJ. It turns out to be a natural but rare photographic phenomenon. He was able to do this with his camera. Yes, the background is out of focus, and as he has told you, and you apparently ignored, it's because it was too close. He has it
okay, gentlemen, hang on a second.
If his background was gone and he was looking at the background, it was 30, 40,
I'm calling a pause.
it would be in much better focus. What we see here in this picture, and I'm showing it on my live stream right now, is exactly the effect that we saw in the LPD photo from Apollo. And your claim of any kind of wrongdoing or mischief or faking or whatever is just totally busted. You just have to live with that.
You said that the image with the crosshairs was debunked. I want to ask, that's why I interrupted it. Yeah? And
I'm sorry, I didn't mean the one with the crosshairs. Or did I? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. You started with that image with the crosshair problem. Once that was debunked, then you tried to go on with something else.
You said that we were debunked. This is flat out wrong. And that's
well, you think so, but I don't. This explains totally this explains the image totally. That is a photographic phenomenon that has absolutely nothing to do with faking or unethical conduct or misrepresentation or deception of any kind whatsoever.
Sorry, Joe, can you ask him to take his words back that we were debunked? We are credited in the Apollo Lunar Surface journals for the finding. So I want to ask Joe to ask you to take his words back.
Yeah, you found it, but it doesn't imply that there's anything wrong with it.
I didn't ask you. I asked Joe. He is the moderator, not you.
All right. What was your question? I'm having trouble hearing you still. What was it?
All right. He said that AWE130 was debunked for the finding of the crosshair image. That's not true because we are credited for the finding. How can we be debunked? That's nonsense.
It's Adrian. Look, I did misspeak because there were a number of matters that you brought up, and I got them confused. Let me try to clarify that now. My apologies. Okay.
No, you don't have to apologize. Take your words back.
The claim that you made originally about this picture of the thruster was that the LPD. I got confused. Not the crosshairs. The LPD should have been visible. It was proven, and you showed the evidence yourself with this picture, with the secondary image, that it was taken through the LPD. The LPD was out of focus. Now, this is the evidence that you presented yourself, and it proved that it was taken through the LPD. What I want to know is, why do you think there's anything wrong with this image of the secondary reflection? What do you think that implies?
We don't know what it implies because we don't know the answer yet.
Yes, you do. It's a normal photographic phenomenon, and Brian Pop Robson duplicated.
Oh, so if somebody can duplicate it by getting the sunlight from the back through the window on the spoon, let's say, that is not what happened. And I don't say that the spoon effect is maybe an answer to it, but his experiment did only show that the picture was taken with the LPD. Yes, and we already knew that. But to jump to the conclusion, again, you do it. You jump to a conclusion, yeah? Saying like, it's already proven. Nothing is proven.
There's nothing wrong with jumping to correct conclusions. And you just need to know when to tap out on this particular issue.
So you think that's the answer. And what you're going to do now is, again, what you also do online, bullying, ridiculing, and insulting. Yeah?
Well, so far I haven't heard any ridicule or insults yet. So let's assume that nothing's been done.
Then you should look at his videos. Anyway.
I mean, here in this debate.
No, yeah, that's fair enough. What I'm saying that the experiment, what was done, yeah, is an interesting experiment. It indeed shows that that is possible with a spoon. It was basically the first thing we investigated, but we didn't bring it out because it has lots and lots of problems. I think there's other solutions to this. Yeah, we can keep the spoon effect aside. We have done that experiment, or somebody has done the experiment, shows how it works. It's not perfect, so are there still other solutions? It's not the first solution you come up with. That would be the solution, and saying like, oh, it's already explained. Absolutely outlandish. It's not investigation, it's just propaganda.
It is the solution, and despite on the online mail thread where people have asked you what your explanation of this would be, the only thing you could come up with was water droplets.
No. Again, you misinformed, probably again didn't read it yourself. It's the water drop effect.
Listen, here's what you need to do, Adrian. This debate is about the ethical practices of the ALSJ editors. You need to show something about this that impugns some kind of misconduct on their part. Otherwise, move on.
Well, let's see if they what solution they come up with. At least they don't jump to a conclusion this time, so that's good. This could be an interesting project to work together on. Yeah. And maybe to start to unite a little bit, but I doubt it, because people like you, who are connected to the Apollo Lunar Surface journals, or at least to editors of the Apollo Lunar Surface journals, are doing a very bad thing for NASA and the Apollo Lunar Surface journal. And I think you should stop with that. I think you should start to act normal.
Quick question, Adrian. Did you just say that Brant was connected?
Yes.
He just means I'm on the same side of.
Oh, well...
oh, yeah, but it's, Apollo was real, according, because nobody knows what the guy did, but according Brant, he is like one of the gurus of the Apollo project. But if you ask him, like, what have you done? What have you corrected in the Apollo Lunar Survey journals? You never get an answer. It can be anybody.
Well, I did give you an answer. And I'm going to credit you for just forgetting it. I told you that he made contributions. I know his name. I'm not going to give you his name, but his name is listed there, and that has nothing to do with this debate.
I'm going to agree that Apollo was real is not here, so we don't need to bring him in.
No, well, but Brant brought him in last time, so you didn't interrupt then either. So anyway,
I didn't hear. My apologies.
No, that's okay. It's okay, Joe. I just like to get the facts correct here. Then also you get the reflection, that one we have here, and this is just a very interesting discovery. And for people who
that's
think
all it is an interesting discovery. Let's move on.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on and let's see if we can find the answer to it and not jump to conclusions.
Be careful, Adrian.
The turning flag.
Don't bother, Joe.
Brent?
Sorry.
Brent?
Go ahead, Adrian.
The turning flag. Yeah.
Continue.
All right, Brent. I have to say that you were right. That the shadow of the flag, what you showed in one of your videos, is indeed coming back a little bit. You showed it in your video, and we were wrong in that. So we want to state that here. That we did not come to the right conclusion, and that our investigation was not good enough. We left the video off because we're thinking what to do with it, or we're going to correct it in the video and let it up for a half year, or take it down. We have to see what we're going to do with that. So, but yeah, indeed, the flag was moving in that 30-minute video.
To my viewers, I apologize. I don't have a picture of that. I didn't think it would come up in the debate.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, what's your next evidence against the ALSJ editors?
Well, that is actually this part of the flag where it was basically about this turning point of the flag. You have here. Get it up a little bit so you can see it. We have here two images, 16mm, top one here, and one image of the NASA archive. We already see that the flag is turned. When we contacted the Apollo Lunar Survey journals, first we were redirected to a point where Neil Armstrong was talking about that he saw the flag turning. When we were reading through that part, we said like, oh, this is interesting, because you say, and that you is Alex Jones, Eric Jones, you say that you cannot calculate the flag. That is what Eric Jones said. So what was interesting to us was like, wow, then we can now start to calculate, because here we see that the flag is turned. Then he's changed his story. That it was a second part where the flag was changed again, and basically the whole history was changed without anybody knowing. Basically, it went quite quickly. Even from this part was quickly uploaded in a video of footage vault with a watermark in it, the free footage. He could have used my footage or AWE130's footage and uploaded it and waited for the better one. But anyway, so here basically he changed history. And an historian should never change history. We should investigate.
Well, we discussed that before, but just in case you want me to say what I said before, I don't know the great details of what happened before this picture of the flag after it's been rotated. It had something to do with comments Neil Armstrong made near the end of the EVA, where he said something about the flag moving. What we don't know is how much movement he was talking about, and there could be two separate movements of this flag that are involved here. The rotation of the flag has been explained, and I believe you just now said that you understand what caused that, and I don't think there's any conflict of historical events here. It's just a matter that there may have been two separate movements of the flag caused by two different things.
Yes, but in the old archives, and then you see it again, if you want to make an historical archive, my friend, and you come to a point where the flag is turned, then you find something else, and then going to say, oh yeah, and it turned somewhere later on. That has nothing to do with history.
Where does this have anything to do with the integrity of the ALSJ editors?
If you just change history.
Because if it doesn't, let's move on.
So, history was changed. Yes,
no, it wasn't changed.
Yes, it was. I don't say it's wrong or right, but it was changed without a discussion. And, you know, I have seen more things changed in the Apollo Lunar Surface journals.
Okay, so basically, Adrian, what this is, okay, the claims that you were making about the flag were explained. There was no fakery involved. And having lost that point, now you're desperate to find something else to complain about, and I just don't think it's there.
No, all right, but you keep saying that we try to prove that the moon landings is fake. Again, this is not true. We have never stated that. We have always stated that we try to correct the historical archives and that we have doubt. And that this doubt, that is what we're investigating. And this doubt can well come from the Apollo Lunar Surface journals. I think NASA is not happy with this, because if that is true what we're saying, and I think that it is, yeah, then you will show, and we will show, that directly the Apollo Lunar Surface journals are responsible for the many millions of people who died in the Apollo moon landings by acting like this with an historical archive.
I like to call
many people.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I like to call for a barring of the word doubt for the rest of this debate, unless it has something to do besides doubting the Apollo landing.
Joe, if I may, before Adrian defends that word, I think everybody is pretty clear how he's using it. You can't, I don't think we can really prevent him from using the word doubt, and I'm just willing to let that go.
Okay, sorry. Go proceed, Adrian.
Yeah, well, yeah, all right. Well, anyway, so that is just a part. So with this part here, history was changed without any discussion because some new footage was found in the archives. Another part gets made, and then somebody comes out and starts yelling like, "Oh yeah, it was a thruster," and Brent and the other guys online start to run after.
All right. Well, Adrian, before we get off of this, I need to make this point clear.
Yes.
There was a description by Neil Armstrong in some of the documentation, quotes from him, having to do with something that may have caused the flag to move near the end of their EVA. That is probably not the same thing that causes the flag to look like it does in that video. It is probably two separate events, and unless you can prove otherwise, it's just two separate events, and there is no incorrect conduct on the part of ALSJ and no error in the record.
How can you say that? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
How can you say that there is no no error in the record? Of course not. But if first this image doesn't exist, yeah, or is ignored or is not investigated, and then somebody comes up and tells them like this, and then a second part gets added to the archives. Oh, it should be happen here somewhere, because.
What do you mean this image doesn't exist?
Well, before we were like informing this about this, they didn't even know about it. So,
oh, you said they didn't know about it. Are you assuming that, Adrian?
No, I'm not assuming.
How do you know that I in my video I took the video clip directly from the Johnson Space Center website that you used that you say they didn't know about?
No, the image was existing. I don't say that the image was not existing, but they didn't know that it existed.
Did they tell you they didn't know about it?
I will not call names, but yeah, somebody who is connected to the Apollo Lunar Surface journals, let me put it that way, was first thinking it was a fake what we showed. So that obviously.
So it's not about the Apollo Lunar Surface journal. Then you don't know whether they knew about it, and even if you did, Adrian, it wouldn't make one bit of difference.
Of course, they did not know about it, because otherwise they would have put it into the Apollo Lunar Surface journals. If they had known about it, they would already have it in their records. Simple as that.
I don't see how that follows. That was a video. It may be in their video record. Have you checked their video records?
Doesn't matter. It was not in their in their historical archive. And the point is, that's in itself not a problem.
It wasn't an emission photograph. It wasn't a mission photograph. It was a video.
You asked why Alex Jones should step down. All right, here you have it. So here he is confronted with somebody he's not aware of, something he's not aware of. That's possible. That's in itself not a problem. But first,
what did he confront us? What did he give us that you have a problem with?
The way how is it handled again? How he handles an historical archive. If the Apollo moon landings are real, this is the most important historical archive maybe of all mankind. And somebody who is like acting as a chief editor, who is an historian actually, as far as I understood, to act like that is completely ethical, historical.
To act like what? What did he do?
What he did was, like, when first he directed us to the wrong part. That's okay, it can happen. When we said, like, now we can like calculate the turning of the flag, yeah, how much it turns, because that's what you described, what Neil told. Then he said, like, oh no, that's not it, it's in the second part. It was not there before. He just edited as quick as possible in to fit the story. That's not a historical archive.
Well, Adrian, you're bringing in things now that I had no knowledge of, and if it was something that you're going to use in this debate, you should have told me about this so that I could check into it myself.
Well, Brent, we have put everything out. You haven't not put anything into this debate. We asked you, like, what...
You haven't offered any new evidence. You're the one who's making the complaints based on evidence that you have collected.
But still, normally, because you wanted this to be a court case, but there's not a court case, because you brought nothing in. So you lost the court case already if you want a court case.
Okay, I don't think you have any kind of a claim against Eric Jones on this. And if you do, then you should make a video showing what he told you and what was unethical about his behavior. Otherwise, you have just failed to do anything here that would impugn any kind of misconduct on his part.
Okay, gentlemen, first, Adrian, Brant doesn't need to bring anything. All he's going to do is talk about what you brought. And second, I have to say, if you didn't present this information 24 hours in advance, then we need to move on.
We come to the photoshopped images.
Okay, I've been looking forward to that.
Oh, that's good for you. Okay, here we have an image of Ed Hengeveld, very short story. This image was stored, this compilation of a few images. But as it was addressed in the Apollo Lunar Surface journals, the images that were addressed there, you could not make this, because this part is photoshopped in, doesn't exist at all. And on the top here, you have it here, roll it up a little bit, is an antenna. This antenna is from Apollo 17, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, let me see, now that I know which one you're talking about. Here is one composite that was made of it. And in order to get a rectangular frame, I thought we already talked about this.
Sounds familiar.
In order to get a rectangular frame, Ed Hengeveld filled in some stuff, made an artistic portrait of it, and it was put in the assembled panoramas section. Upon your complaint, they moved it to the extra stuff, the fun stuff.
Can you say where you were reading that from?
Brant has the floor, Adrian.
Well, but yeah, he's just complete not listening. Where did he read that part from he just was reading?
Okay, well, we've already discussed this image in our
No. Where did you read that from? Where did that information come from?
All right, what was your question again? I'm sorry, the echo is messing me up.
All right. You were reading something about this image. I asked you, where did you get this information from? What's your source?
What information is that you're asking about?
About this image, what you were just reading 5 minutes.
Well, I wasn't reading anything. What did I say that you needed a source for?
You just said something about the triangular blah blah blah, and then you were reading something.
Oh, okay. Well, here for my viewers anyway, I'll put it back on the screen and I'll describe to you what I'm doing. All right, here is one composite showing the 3 exact images that were used to make it. We can see that there's no antenna on the top and that there are large portions missing from what would be a rectangular frame. Now, Ed Hengeveld made this version using a composite of different parts of different photographs, even the antenna from a different mission, which I know is another complaint that you have, and a photoshopped sun, because obviously to finish in the rest of the rectangular frame. I mean, you wouldn't just leave it black if the sun was supposed to be there. It was described as a portrait. A portrait is a work of art. It was not in the mission photographs section of the ALSJ. You've been told this many times. It was in the assembled panoramas section. And they even moved it out of there because of your complaint.
There is just one simple question I have with you. The antenna is not from Apollo 11. Do you agree with that?
I do agree. I researched it myself.
All right. Then I'm going to tell you that the Apollo Lunar Service Journal, still today, I just checked it today, is telling that it is from Apollo 11. 6 months after we contacted Ed Hengeveld.
I checked a couple of days
ago.
ago.
Information and they given a detailed.
You don't need to go on. You don't need to go on. I checked a couple of days ago, Adrian. You're fine. What you're saying is true. This image is in the what do they call it? The extra some artistic section that they have of the like a footnote kind of section. Now, and the description for it is not complete. It does not explain the sun. I don't think it. It still says that the portion used for the antenna, I believe they said, came from another part of the Apollo 11 missions. It has not been updated. It has not been changed. And so, yes, you're right. Now, why they haven't changed it yet? It could be, Adrian, because the man has more important things to do.
Well, if he had done the right thing before he changed it, because this text, what he put up, was already changed from the original, what was different. Yeah, and he would adjust. Yeah, we would not have this discussion. This clearly shows that Eric Jones don't care about like a historical correct archive. He doesn't care. That is what it indicates. Because if he would have cared,
well, I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion for you. I'm not going to. I understand. I have a suggestion for you. I'm not going to contact him myself about this. You've been in regular contact for several months now.
Yeah.
With gone.
You're breaking up, Brant.
Yeah, I thought it was on this side, but yeah.
I think we lost Brant.
All right. Well, we have time, so don't worry. So maybe I can quickly explain what